Okay, hello and welcome to Plugin Along, a stream dedicated to LOTRO plugins. That's funny, I hear myself out of Little Redhead's computer. Fantastic. Last time on Plugin Along, we made the new TitanBar currencies window forward compatible by including currencies found in your wallet that TitanBar doesn't know about. And today we're going to kind of relearn how TitanBar currently creates those toolbar icons from the old style window that we got to this point and try to make that happen for the new window. As always, feel free to jump into chat with your thoughts and questions. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and bring up my my UI here. Okay. Sukosi says hello, hello. Okay, so where are we? So if you are just joining us, TitanBar allows you to present a concentrated clump of information by default at the top of your screen here. Every one of the wallet items that I could get up there is up there, with the possible exception of money, maybe something else, I don't know. Yeah, money's in the tooltip. It just takes a lot of horizontal space, but everything else is up here. But the problem with TitanBar is that there was a fixed set of currencies in the wallet window, and if you wanted to add a new currency, you had to make changes to TitanBar. Someone had to go in and make a whole bunch of changes to add that in. So we're trying to fix that. We have an updated wallet window that looks a lot more like your actual wallet window. It shows everything that's in there. And even color codes it based on whether it's account-wide or per character. Can tell you how many of them you have, all of this good stuff. But what we don't have is a way to link that up to the current system of placing things on or removing them from the bar here. And that's what we want to look at today. So, now that we're all caught up, how do we do that? Okay, what we should do is take a look at this wallet window. Right now, if you want to change where something is, you have to open up a configuration screen for that currency by right-clicking it, and then you have an option of one of three states. It's either on the bar itself, those are those icons at the top. It is in the tooltip, that's what you get if you are hovering over the wallet icon, or you don't show it at all, in which case that's sort of the default behavior. It just is nowhere. TitanBar is still paying attention to increases and decreases in case you do decide to show it, I think. But it's just not represented up here with an icon and with a number and so on. One of the things I've mentioned is I would really love to not have to click into a subscreen like this. But instead, just make the window wider and give some radio buttons with some column headers that just says on TitanBar, in tooltip, or don't show, and then there's just radio buttons for all of these. So you can just click in place instead of having to right click in and then remember what it was and remember where it's going and all of that. So that is on my list of things to do, but we haven't done it yet. Okay, so what happens when I come in here and I say don't show medallions? Well, we can see it disappears. Come in here and say on TitanBar and it does appear. What's going on? How is that working? All right, so in here, let's just double check. How clean is our working directory? Right now, we have the missing items that we were using to test that backwards compatibility nature of the wallet. I think that's fine to leave. We're still missing Mithril coins and Yule Festival tokens as something that the new TitanBar knows about. And I've added a to-do item for efficiency. So to-do file changes. We'll just go ahead and commit that in. Will we? We will not, because we have gone backwards in time, so I will not do that. But we have a pretty clean working directory. Tellurian says, probably for historical reasons, the number of items increased a lot since the first release. That's definitely, the general trend is definitely upwards. But I did notice while I was working on this that there was a great consolidation, and I don't know if yeah, update 5. And this was released December 12th, 2011. These are the notes on LOTRO.com. They also exist over on the wiki. Unified currency. All the various marks and tokens that appeared in skirmishes and classic instances are collapsed into 3 new currencies: marks, medallions, and seals. So this was a place where they actually obliterated, I don't know, about 20 different currencies in favor of a consolidated 3. But I agree that the general trend is upward because they release new maybe taxidermy things, or they release new currencies, or and whatnot. Like the Wildwood tokens, I think, go into someone's inventory. But in general, there's a lot of things in here that as you release new content, there's need for more stuff in your wallet, and that's totally fine. That's why we're trying to design a TitanBar that can take that into account. Yes, if we know about it, maybe that makes life a little bit easier, but if we don't, that shouldn't be a stumbling block. Okay. So, working directory is as clean as it's going to be. Let's come on in to the, what is it? That's the wallet control. So wallet, it's really kind of the wallet window. And when we add items, there is a right mouse button handler here that does stuff for currencies in general, and then if it happens to be LOTRO points, we also have a special field where you can go say how many LOTRO points we have, because that's not accessible to the in the API. So this LOTRO points box here. For everything else, it doesn't exist, or it's not visible anyway. Okay, So the button save is what we're interested at here. So what happens when we click save? Oh, interesting. We can detect if the enter button was pressed. Yeah, all right. I don't think that's useful in general, except for the LOTRO points one. If you're in here and you type 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, it gives the appearance. But that's just globally true, whether or not the cursor is in there or not, and that feels incorrect. In fact, hang on. I'm curious if it does it even if you weren't editing at all. Hang on. Turbine.shell.writeLine, enter pressed. So we're just going to spit out something into the standard chat channel anytime we see the enter being pressed. Now, we've opened the wallet window. Yeah. That's what's going on. It's been driving me batty. While I was working on all the new wallet window stuff, we were hitting this case where wcur was not set. It was nil. And I thought it was something I had done in the new system. But no, it's actually because we are manually calling click every time enter has been clicked. And we really shouldn't. At the very least, we should make sure that there is one of those, whatever we call it, the W current should be set. So what we want to do is, we can see W current equals something here. It's based off of the thing that we're clicking. So yeah, I think we just need to say if we don't have something open, then that needs to not happen. Okay, what happens if we click the save? Do we clear the wcur? No. When does wcur get set to something? When we click something, and that's it. That's something. Okay, so what we want to do is, first of all, we want to make a note to ourselves, because this isn't a good place to make changes. Let's come on into the to-do file and make some notes. Bug fix. The wallet window always responds to enter by clicking the save button. If we haven't opened up a currency, sees options, wcur is nil. Check for this in the enter handler and set it back to nil once the save button's handler is done. Cool. Yeah, okay. I am very curious. I suspect that's always been the case. I suspect if you opened up the wallet window blind and pressed enter without all of the changes I've done, that is the case. But we don't need to suspect. We have source control. If I came into source control and just went way back in time, oh, yeah, it's not going to be happy with that. We're going to go ahead and stash everything. Then go back in time to the October 18, 2021 version of this, and then we're just going to reload TitanBar. No, okay, something is different. That's fascinating. Okay, so it is a bug that I introduced during the consolidation of different code, probably. Now, what does that actually look like, though? Wallet window, enter. Enter key was pressed. Okay, so if enter key was pressed, okay, we have the save button dot click. Let's go take a look at that. Oh, of course. We were checking wcur against everything instead of just, okay, so that is a problem that I introduced. The code collapsed down to, well, all of this is the same, assuming wcur is set. And I missed that was not a guarantee, that we were calling this not just when the save button was clicked, which by that code path wcur would be set to whatever the page was, but also if you just detect that enter button. And I didn't realize that was the case. Okay, that's my bad. Where else? That's the current label. Oh, wcur is set here, so it must be okay. wcur is checked here, so we need to make sure that it's valid. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay. Interesting. So, if we come back into source control and we boot ourselves forward, and then we can take our work in progress back and come on in and reload. Oh, interesting. Badges of Taste and Dishonor weren't a part of that. Okay. Yeah, so that was definitely a bug with that code. Okay, cool. This was a bug when I collapsed down the if wcur equals x cases, because then the code execution fell out of the if block without finding a match. Okay, documentation. Cool. So yes, it was a problem I caused, but not because of all the new Windows stuff, but because of a flawed assumption about how wcur is set and used. Awesome. So, what's next? I don't think that's right. Okay, so when the save button is clicked, we get the index that drop down is selected, and we're going to update the where for this currency and call show hide if appropriate. Awesome. So the where equals that selected index. Cool. And then we're going to copy that into the settings, which are string formatted instead of integer formatted, and I could go on a whole side thing on how TitanBar's save files work for another day. Okay, if the selected index is 1, why are we using both where and show? What does show hide currency do? And importantly, are we using show or where? Both. This is another problem I have, is that in general, TitanBar has ideas of shown or not shown. Are they on the TitanBar or are they not on the TitanBar? And in the genre of things that were designed as a binary that inevitably sprawled to have more options, that yes, no, true, false, Boolean of is it on the bar or not got split out into is it on the bar or is it in a tooltip or is it not for the wallet items. And so there's this parallel visibility of show and where, which is another thing. We're going to just not worry about it. Okay, so we are... The reason I even went off on this side path is that the general way of doing this that I was expecting is local old where equals where of wcur. And then where of wcur equals cell index. Sure, that's the new thing. In which case, I would have just named that new where, right? So local new where equals cell index. I would have done that. So where equals new where. And then if old where does not equal new where, then it changed. Like, this is the classic pattern of something might have changed. We have the old value, we have the new value. You don't have to do that way. You can in fact just do if new where does not equal where of wcur. That's fine. It's probably useful to save off the old and the new values. That's why that's so often the expression of this pattern, but it doesn't have to be. So in this case, if cell index does not equal the where of wcur, then it changed. So it's just boggling my mind that we are just updating where without saving off the old value, and then we're consulting a parallel but not the same value of show to do this. And it's fine. It obviously works well enough. Majestic Angels asks, what language is this? Tellurian has already responded, it's Lua. Although, fun fact, Lua is not an abbreviation. It is just the name, like moon, and so it is typically written with a capital L, lowercase ua, Lua, like moon in some languages. You can find more information about it at lua.org. The specific version that's baked into LOTRO, Lord of the Rings Online, which is the thing that's happening behind all the code screens with the goose. The version that's baked into here is a subset of Lua 5.1. That is, any of the features in LOTRO that work correspond to Lua features in 5.1. But some of the things in Lua 5.1 are not available in LOTRO. Specifically, nothing to do with file access or network access or anything like really fun and, ooh, I wonder if I can mess with the person's computer. Stuff like that, they have locked it down. So you're working in kind of a sandbox with a subset of Lua 5.1. Cool. But thanks to Lauren for jumping on that while I was pontificating on variables. Yeah, so that's why I had the mental equivalent of popping a clutch there when I saw us overwriting the old value and then checking a different value. It's a different way of doing things. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's different enough that it just made me say, huh. Okay, we're going to get rid of that change as well while we're in here. Majestic Angel says, I would love to write my own game. Yeah, there's a fantastic ecosystem out there, including things like Unity, for people who want to explore the world of game making. So if that's a thing that you're interested in, there are incredible resources out there. What we're doing here specifically is plugins, little mini programs inside of Lord of the Rings Online. And so I find that to be a really nice place to start because you can see what other people have done and how it works, and oh, what happens if I just change this little thing? That's essentially what we're doing here today. Is we're taking the TitanBar plugin that someone else made and making changes to it to hopefully, fingers crossed, improve it. And so we don't have to write the thing from the ground up. We can take an existing thing and try to tweak it, make it work a little bit more the way we want it to work, and hopefully other people. But ultimately, if you're working on a plugin that you don't care about, it can be hard to maintain that motivation, especially when you hit a stumbling block. So for me, not having to go and edit TitanBar to add new currencies makes this a really interesting project, right? I use TitanBar in all of my characters all the time. It's great. But there have been definitely some plugins that I've looked at, and I've been, oh, like, here's the bug, that's interesting, and, like, toss that at other people. But then I'm like, okay, I'm never going to use that plugin again because I just don't care. So, yeah, if you are working on a project, try to make sure you have that inner motivation that makes you think, this is really interesting, this is really important to me, this is whatever, because when it's going well, you don't need a lot of motivation. It's like, oh yeah, this is great, this is cool, look at this new thing. But when it goes poorly, when you are banging your head against the nearest available surface for hours on end because you can't figure out why something is not working, like, I did the thing, it's not doing the thing, why? Repeat for several hours. It's good to have that inner motivation of, it's okay, I'm going to get through this, it's important because blah. And if you don't have that, it can be really, it makes it a lot harder to get to that next sentence of, okay, how about we try about this? What happens if I do that? How about this? Oh yeah, finally it worked, hours later. So anyway, just some thoughts. Majestic Angel says, I didn't even know there were plugins for LOTRO. The plugins are made by the community. The plugin manager is integrated into Lord of the Rings Online. Excuse me. But the people who make Lord of the Rings Online, SSG, Standing Stone Games, they do not write any of the plugins, they don't support any of the plugins, and if you are reporting bugs to them, like problems with the game, basically the first thing they're going to be saying is, please turn off all your plugins and make sure it's not one of them causing the weird behavior. So they're not a supported thing by SSG, but there is a big community for them. Let's see. LOTROinterface.com is having a little bit of trouble right now. I wonder if they have a broken certificate or something. Normally it looks a lot more better than this, but LOTROinterface.com is a place where you can get Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons Online plugins. Julian says, it also helps if other people tell you you did a good job. Yeah, that does not hurt. Knowing that other people are enjoying using the thing, that's definitely nice. It's not the reason I do it, but when I go in and I sort by downloads and I see that Deed Tracker is on the first page with 160,000 downloads, that's neat, right? LOTRO Interface doesn't have a way to track who's downloading fresh versus who's downloading an update to a plugin, so that's not probably not 160,000 actual people who have found this hopefully useful. But it's definitely not one person who's downloaded 160,000 times either, right? So it's neat to see that there's been interest in it. If the current size of it is actually correct, let's say 2.36. Wonder if they're doing base 10 or base 2 megabits. 159.694. Oops. So that's how many bits, or I'm sorry, how many bytes of traffic I'm responsible for. Oops, no. Don't do that. Why are you misbehaving? Okay. 2.36 times 159.694. That's how many bytes. Sure. 368 gigabytes. That seems like a lot. Cool. Anyway, yeah. Hearing a positive feedback from other people, definitely a part of it. Even hearing some negative feedback, like, I love this, I'm using it, but this thing is terrible and it's causing me problems. Like, on Little Redhead's stream, someone was explaining that they were having performance issues with dTracker, and the only way you notice that you're having performance issues with a plugin is if you use the plugin. If you use it enough that you're like, oh no, that's a problem. So even people who are like, oh, I'm having this problem with a plugin, that still tells you they're using it, they want to use it, they want to use it more. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we have our click handler, and the main thing here is the show hide currency. Oh, I'm sorry. Click of the save handler. If we were doing LOTRO points, we also want to save out whatever the parse text is. Sure. Okay. Oh, we're going to fix it first, and then we'll go ahead and save that into a global variable. Okay. And yeah, okay, all of that is LOTRO-specific stuff. LOTRO point-specific stuff. Don't worry about that. So we're going to go into the show hide currency. Show hide currency. This is the thing that is making this happen, I think. So, import control. If the control is not already imported, we are going to, if it's not one of the special ones, so that's LOTRO points, that's money, that's wallet, any of the other ones, if it's a where equals 1, it's a wallet control, therefore we can make the wallet control. Okay. Okay, so make wallet control. What do we do? We're getting a code. We have a currency key to code lookup. If the thing has already been loaded, then don't bother to do anything. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and make a global entry for that thing, and then make the wallet control, icon, label, and move control. This is all in wallet control factory. Cool. So we made this with the assumption that we had lookup tables to take that code and do something useful for it. What we want to do is kind of revisit our thought process for each one of those steps and say, okay, what if we don't have that lookup table? So we have a key, the new internal thing like Emerald Silver piece. Now, we're going to have to come up with something on the fly for that. And that actually is a concern for me. I think the thing that does not change, regardless of your language, might just be something like the image ID. We're definitely going to have the image ID, because we can get that from the wallet item, I think. Let's refresh my memory there. So, turbine.gameplay, wallet item, There's a get image thing. So if it's in your wallet and we don't know about it, we can get the image ID. And if we do know about it, we still have the image ID. So using the image ID as the code might make a lot of sense. And that's actually something that we could slide the existing code towards, is to say, okay, can we make this continue to work if we stop using the sensible thing like Amroth Silver Piece and instead use image ID, which is not readable but is automatable. Okay, let's take a look at each of these 4 functions and see how we feel. Make wallet control. So this is the thing what everything else will go in. So we make the control, we set the parent, mouse visible, Z order, blend mode, back color. And the real thing is that key, as long as, like, when we set BC alpha, as long as we're consistently setting the thing, like here it is, currency key, then changing that key internally doesn't seem like it would matter. The big thing is save files. How does that look in a save file? I don't know. Let's go look at a save file and see if we can see that. So we're going to find that in Lord of the Rings Online. Plugin data, character, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be server, character, TitanBar settings. Okay. So we're using that inner thing, combinations, Embers of Enchantment, Fall Festival token, etc. So I'm trying to envision what this looks like going forward. You can imagine a TitanBar release that has this new feature, the new window that supports arbitrary currencies, and those currencies are going to use something in the save file. Now, TitanBar is obviously updating things like TitanBar settings EN. What happens if I change the language? Okay, I was kind of expecting that I would get another save file. Since I didn't get that, let's go ahead and set the language back. And go look in the code and figure out why that is. Probably because my client language hasn't changed. And that's fine. Fascinating. Nope, not the whole word. There we go. Okay. The G locale. Okay. So that's definitely going to be equal to an FRDE or EN. Yes. However, there is some sort of internal save variable, and that just must be for the UI. Interesting. Confusing, perhaps, but interesting. Okay, so I was going to say, if the reason we can't use the name of the item is because the name is localized. If you're logged in with English or German or French, you're going to get different names. And if you use those as your key and then you log off of your German client and you log into the English client, your values will not persist. In fact, you'll get the same thing 2 or even 3 times as we get 2 or 3 different versions of the same item name. So that's why I want to make sure I have something that is language independent. I think the storm has arrived.
Yeah.
Nice.
Casper's looking.
Yep. Oops. By the way, Casper is definitely paying attention. Gusty. Zarian says US settings seem to be character scope, data is account. That is fair. I am looking at, but there are UI settings for each of the wallet items, and that's why I was in this file. Let's go to the all characters. We have TitanBar bags, TitanBar player wallet. Cool, let's take a look at that. Show money, show to all. Cool. And then we can look at the account level, all servers, and that's just the LOTRO points. Okay. Okay. So if you have a version of this, and if we use the image ID for those things going forward, then the question is just, would we like all of them to be image IDs? Is that a temporary placeholder that we would then have an update code? Oh, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and set that to be badges of Umbar. Then it says, otherwise, TitanBars would not be able to display data of other characters. That is fair. Oh, okay. Server-wide then. All characters, TitanBar. Is that wallet stats? TitanBar bags. Neat. Okay. So, updating files always makes me a little nervous, but I think if there were just a routine to say, replace this key with this one, once TitanBar is made aware of that currency, that could be interesting. And that is something that is automatable. Really, just have it in a table somewhere and just says, it was this, now it is this. Okay. So if we can make that assumption that the key will either be the known value and is using that human readable good? Like Amroth silver piece. Let's take a look at that. Amroth silver piece. Those places where this is used. This is going to go away, so don't care about that. Settings, currencies. This is going to go away. I actually don't care about that. Currency is not used in monster play. I think the default is to only show you things that are in your wallet. I don't think this is going to exist. Hey, Lord Zach says hello in chat. Hello. All right, currency code to key. This lookup table stops being important as soon as we want it to, more or less. Just a moment. Sorry, cat. Didn't mean to throw that at you. It's a danger when the cat stands next to the trash can. Okay, so that hopefully going away. That hopefully going away. The lookup table of the icon, this wallet item, that's going away. Internal key makes a wallet control. Yeah, cool. Generic currency sample. Where is that? That I think needs to go away anyway. And then the name of the thing, which we actually don't need anymore because we can get that. We either have the item ID for known items, in which case we can query that with an item info lookup, or if it's in your wallet, we can get the display text from that. And the tooltips are all the same, except they use a pluralized version of the currency, which is not regular in the way the singular goes to plural. So for instance, we have star of merit goes to stars of merit, but Amroth silver piece does not go to Amroth's silver piece. It goes to Amroth silver pieces. And token of Hidbolt goes to tokens of Hidbolt. Destiny points, not Destiny's point. but Destiny points. So it's irregular in English. German and French might be better, but I did check in with LOTRO Companion, and he thought that there might be a way to extract those plurals, and it's not worth. This isn't worth keeping, I don't think. I think pluralizing it as these are your Amroth silver pieces instead of saying this is the quantity of Amroth silver piece that you have, like something like that. Like that makes more sense to me. So I want to kill that anyway. So in general, Amroth, where we're using Amroth silver piece, those places I don't think are going to stay. Okay, so if that's the way I feel, then we might very well be doing the transition a little bit sooner, where as a part of this, we'll be going from something nice and human readable, Amroth silver piece, and going to something annoyingly not human readable. Do I have a solution for that? We can store arbitrary things in this save file, and it would be very possible to just store, name equals medallions, and then this up here would just be, 1, 2, 3, 4, the image ID, whatever it happens to be. So this would not always be the first thing. In fact, it would be expected to be just randomly mixed in here, but it would at least give you a sense of what that section is. I just like taking steps to make save files more inscrutable. And having those keys become less useful for a human reader might just be useful from a code perspective. Okay, let's assume that that's fine. And go look at that wallet control factory a little bit more and see what else we have. Okay, we have a make wallet control control. None of this should be a problem. The next thing is the make wallet control icon. We need a width and a height, and we do have a icon width override table. And currently these things use those internal values, but they don't have to. They could also use that image ID. This is just to make it more human readable, but we could just as well just say Destiny points, right? And have this be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So that's fine. Okay. And we have one of each of those for width and height. And that's just because some of these icons are an awkward size to work with. Okay. So we have the table that we're putting this into. We have that code that we're using for show tooltip window, and we have the key. The lack of unification. I was super eager to get started on the UI changes, but the fact that we still are using codes and keys makes me feel like that is a more important thing. The unification of codes and keys into image IDs might make this a more straightforward change going forward. However, we have code and we have key. Setting the background, we're using the background. We have a stored table of background images. But in the new system, we're going to get the image, either we'll already have it or we can look it up. If it's in your wallet, we have the image ID there. If it's something TitanBar knows about in its precompiled data, we'll have the image ID there. So that wallet item table is going away. Okay. Is that the only place we use key? It is the only place we use key. Okay. Code. That's for the show tooltip win. And I don't know I'm hesitant to take away features, but the only thing that changes between all of these tooltips is that first string. And I really feel like it would be just as explanatory if it just said Midsummer Token, Spring Leaf, Yule Festival Token, hold right click, Badge of Taste, hold left right click. And yes, if someday we get the plurals, even better. Yeah, okay. So code, the only place that's used is the tooltip window. Key, the only place that's used is the wallet item, or these tables as well. That's fine. Yeah, I can never remember what's code and what's key because they were only meant to be temporary things. So cleaning that up feels like it's becoming a priority. Okay, what happens after making the image? We make the label. We have the table, we have the code, we have the key. Okay, so we get that label alignment. We have a table that's indexed by that key that could become the image ID. Show tooltip window. Oh, okay, yeah, because you can see the window over either of those things. I actually feel like that needs to go on the control holding them both, because as you go between the number and the image, the tooltip window actually disappears because you're over the thing, but you're not over the label or the icon. And yeah, all of this code feels like it should be in the control above, and then these things don't request the mouse at all. To do for each bar wallet control, the icon and label are handling mouse, hover, move, etc. We should do this in the control and make the image and label invisible to mouse clicks. Okay. I think that I'll actually simplify this because I'm guessing there's a lot of that duplicate here. We have the icon, mouse move, leave, click, down, up. Mouse move, leave, click, down, up. Oh, and we only accept clicking. Wait, what's going on here? I'm just going to reload. Oh, hold left click to move, of course, and right click to open the control menu. Okay. I was thinking left click would do something more useful. Okay, so hang on. View, split down. Okay. In the label, we have a mouse move. We have, in the icon, we have a mouse move. Icon label. Pretty sure that that is a typo. Not in chat says hello. Hello. Okay, so if we're in the icon, we're going to tell the label to leave. Okay. Label to leave calls reset tooltip when. That feels weird. I don't feel like that's great. What else do we have in mouse move? Okay, so both of these are just trying to call whatever happens to be in this function. That's fine. I would rather that shared functionality had been hoisted out to its own function, maybe, but it's fine. Okay, what else do we have? We tell it we're moving the mouse moving. Okay, if dragging, table, that, yeah, cool, all the same. Show tooltip window. Cool. Mouse leave. Forward that over to the label mouse leave. All right, mouse click. Forward that over to the mouse click. Yeah, cool. Mouse down, forward that on, and mouse up, forward that on. Okay. It really is just that simple. So yes, all of that should go into the table control, and these should have the. There's a way to say don't respond to mouse. So if I just search for set mouse visible, if we set that to false, then whatever is parenting it, they can get that. We can see that set mouse visible to false, but no, I don't like that. So let's go ahead and actually just play around with that for a second. We're going to set the label mouse visible to false. All the important stuff, as we just saw, is over here. So we're going to go ahead and just hoist that up for a minute. All of this does not matter. And here, we're going to put that in. But we do need to remember all of these are this. We don't need to forward that. Table, move control, that's fine. Okay. Reset tooltip win, mouse click. Oh, there's a problem here. Maybe not. Maybe TP-Win is handling it. Not sure why we're setting the Z orders. Just so whatever you're dragging is on top over the other things there. That's fine. Okay. Let's play around with that. Let's load that and see what we just broke. Cool. Yeah, that didn't work. Functions. Nope. Functions.lua 256. Attempt index field tooltip window a new null value. Yeah, well, that's fair. Okay, well, I do feel like I should go ahead and reset this a second just to see what all I just did. All right, control factory. Actually, icon mouse move. Mouse show tooltip win. Okay, so how did this get the tooltip win? I have a feeling there was some slight difference between them that I did not. Yeah, there we go. If dragging then. Okay, so table icon. If dragging that. Wait, how did I get something weird then? I know I saw something. Oh, that was mouse click. Okay. Mouse click forwards. This mouse click. Okay, has that empty. Okay. But mouse move. That's fascinating. Okay, show tooltip win. Functions 256. G tooltip win. When is this thing set and how did I break that? That is fascinating. Okay, in functions, create tooltip win is when that happens. Reset tooltip win is nil. Was there a call to create tooltip win that I somehow deleted? Create. Not obviously. But show tooltip win, you'd think that that would call create, right? Yeah. Okay. And just in case that somehow turned into a null value, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that in a dump call. Let's reload that. Okay. Yeah, it is a null call. That's fascinating. Because I don't have code, because I made that mistake right there. There we go. Fascinating. Woof. Oh, I think that's actually the lag caused by spitting out 30 different chat messages a second. We are doing that. We are... Oh, that's wonky. There's some subtleties in here I did not expect. We were calling table mouse leave. What did table mouse leave do? That reset. That's what it was. Show tooltip win makes the new window, and then the old one has to get cleaned up. If we were to or even okay. So if we were to call mouse leave, we should see that window destructed. Yeah. So we were seeing a trail of windows being told to eventually go away. And so it's so weird to me that the moving of the tooltip window is essentially killing and recreating that window, but doing it so fast that we can't really tell. At least I believe that's what's happening. Because the reset tooltip window sets that window to false, kills that only global reference to it, and then counts on the garbage collector cleaned up. So this right here, dragging this over, has created and destroyed dozens or possibly even hundreds of windows. And what do we say to that? We go to the to-do file and make a note, because holy moly, that's for later. The way tooltip windows currently works. When the mouse cursor moves, hide the current window, null out the only reference to it, and then create the window again from scratch. How it should work. If the window has the correct contents, just move it. Yeah, that's not a problem for today. It just makes me uncomfortable that it exists that way. Okay. So the control factory, what we've just seen is we were able to hoist up the mouse controls here, and right-clicking and left-clicking still work. And so with that, we can see that the code parameter for control icon and control label are actually no longer needed. So we're going to come on up and kill code and code there. And that means we're only using the new value, the key, the currency key. Makes me feel a little bit better. Control and label are just doing a thing then. So we've made the thing, we've made the icon, set the background equal to a thing. We're not actually setting the text here because we'll be updating that value later, I assume. And then, excuse me, the move control function, table move control. That's the function that I assume, oh yeah, there. If we're dragging, then this is how we drag the thing. I feel like spinning up a new version of this function for every one of those icons is wrong. I think it's out of scope. Okay. There's a full version of this for every wallet control on the bar. It would be nicer to have a single version of this that is called by the dragging handler. And where is that? Oh, it's actually table move control, sorry. Okay, nope. And make control will make control, and that's the mouse move. And that's kind of what we would do. Instead of saying, call this with sender and args. Sender's not even used, args is. It'd be nice if we just had a function that we could call with the necessary parameters instead of assigning this function. Yeah, why did we do that? Like, hang on. Function move control. Like, if it was just this, wouldn't that work? Move control. Maybe I'm missing something subtle again. Yep. Attempt to index field control. Well, that's cool. Wallet control factory 137. Oh, we don't actually have a table. Move control. You know what? If we could send the table. And then that would be table. Maybe? Yeah. Well, that's cool. Moving seems to be fine. We have a move control, which is exactly the same code here, but instead of signing that every time we're over there, we no longer need a move control function. Instead, we just have a move control function. I don't know, the naming is hard. Instead of assigning this same copy of code every time for 30 odd different controls, we're just going to call the function that exists outside of the table, passing the table in, and that is, yeah, the lack of needing a lambda here is so. Am I missing something? Why was this done this way? I don't know. I mean, semantically, we are doing something slightly different because we're not doing a lambda capture here, but I don't think that matters because we're just using table and args to do stuff. we're saving access to these global variables, but we still have access to global variables. It's fine. Where is screen width? That must be some global variable. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're just gonna delete that and see what happens. Sure. Seems great. A lot of neat. Whenever I end up changing something like that, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, surely there was a reason to save off an independent copy of this function for each and every control instead of just calling the function. But as far as I can tell, that is not the case here. I think that's I think it's because there was a version of this file for every control, and so you needed to be able to call this function from every control. And they just did it once and copy pasted it a bunch of times, I think. We're going to go with that. So we have the move control function. We can make the control icon a label. And in general, yeah, okay. Let's commit to changing our tactics here. We're going to be going ahead with the way the old code was, this window here, and we're going to be cleaning things up. I guess I should put something on the TitanBar and make sure I can still move it around. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and commit to, we're going to be making changes to try to unify up some things. Do final changes to unify code and key to be the image ID. And whatever else we happen to do along the way. So what does that look like in code? Well, we have to-do items here. So to-do file changes. Where are we in here? We're just before we merged into the wallet window tree view. That's fine. Okay, so this is just that missing stuff for our testing purposes. So that's fine. This is also, and in fact, do we need that? Not at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and stash just these two, stash two files, and these are missing currencies for forward compatibility testing. We're just going to save that off. Cool. So we just have changes to the wallet control factory. Wallet control factory. The changes we've made so far include changing where the mouse is and changing how this function is. However, that's a lot of changes, and I'd like to break it apart into the two distinct divisions that we have so far. So what we're going to do is, you know what, we're going to go back to where it was and reapply these changes. So the first thing is, this is going to become function move control, table args, bam, and bam, and this. Nope, that wasn't a key I meant to press. And then we're going to go ahead and say move control. Yeah, we no longer need this function. And then move control. And instead of that, we're just going to call function move control and send table and args. Cool. Let's give that a shot. Let's go ahead and reload this. And at this point, 100. Of course, I didn't make the changes in both the places that code was duplicated. Okay, so 144. I missed the second part of that, which was sending the table instead of sender. Okay, so moving with the text, moving with the icon, moving in between, never worked, so that's fine. Okay, so we've recreated just that isolated change. So, and we had a to-do item note about this, I think. Yeah. Okay, so stopped making a move control function for each wallet control. So that is what we're doing. And here, the way we're implementing it in isolation, we've removed the make move control function. We have changed the reference to move control, passing table instead of senders in two different places. And here we have just defined the function, but the function we can see, ignoring minor changes, is identical. Cool. I like it. We're going to go ahead and take that. And then we can go ahead and get our old changes back. And these are the changes it takes to go from there forward to the mouse refactoring. This is where we go ahead and set the mouse visible for the control, and it also gets all the mouse stuff. And we'll go ahead and move this down here. Yeah. Cool. So we have removed all of this mouse code here. Why do we have that? I don't know. Oh, I think I know why. Okay. So we've moved all that. We've moved all this. We have moved it into the control. And at this point, we can reload this. And from the number, from the label, or from that in between, we can see now the tooltip stays the whole time. That is satisfying. Okay, cool. Sure, save those changes. I don't know what I just did. Oh, it was just those spaces down here. That's fine. Okay, so. Moved mouse handlers from icon and label to parent control. And that's what's going on here. By doing that, we've also eliminated one of the parameters needed for the icon on the label, which is great. Ideally, we will just be passing key because the entry in the global table will also be key. So that's a step to be done shortly. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and push that out. We're in the better currencies branch still, and the wallet window tree view branch, that also exists. It's just we're not there yet. Okay. What is going on here? We make G of code. Why do we make G of code? What is code here? Code equals currency key to code. Key to code. So the key is the good one, the code is the short one. Okay. What happens if we stop using G of code for these? It's no longer being hard-codedly created in each of the control files, so it should be fine. He said, not at all confident. Do we have the key in all of these places? Yep, we have the key there. We have... Sorry, do we have the code? We have the... Yep, we have the code there. We're using the key. Wait, so the key is... Oh, why is it code in some places and key in other places? Whew. Okay, I gotta find any place that says key and figure out why it's broken. Okay, this is a key. Code to key. That is a... That is code to key. I don't think that's right. What is this? Hang on. Okay, we're going to spit that out, and we're in the background color section in the this. So let's go ahead and reload this, and we're going to come on in and change the background color of that. Okay. So we're not in there. This is the, oh, that's control. Well, what on earth is the this? Why would value ever be equal to this? I don't understand. The value is this, the value is this. Background color match this, okay. This is for menus? No. Menu control. This is just in general. I think that's what that is, and I think that's why that was not working. Okay. No, except we still didn't get that output. Darbind.shell.writeLine. I would like to know what's going on here. So this, except we're going to go ahead and take command and value and just spit that out. Okay, cool. So change background color. Let's make it more obvious. Yeah, that's fine. Save. Okay. Apply this to all. Okay, so we've got an all, got a control, got a TitanBar. Cool. Apply this to all control. Apply control, apply this to TitanBar. Reset back color of this control. There we go. Attempt to index local table. Yes, that is the break I thought should have been happening. Table has to be code. So we know that this is a code. Do we use code anywhere else? We have the key. Key to code. Yeah. Okay. Local code equals. And using this code will make my life make more sense. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kill that. Reload. Great. And this is going to be apply a Titan back color to this control. Cool. Except we need to change that. Change background color of this, default, save. Awesome. And then here, apply TitanBar color to this. It works. This is a case where I think using this to mean apply to this was unnecessarily unverbose. I think apply to this would have been a fine string command to use. And if you don't like that, save that off as a string and make a variable name that's shorter or something. I don't know. Anyhow, yes, I think apply to this, apply to this, apply to this. It's only in 3 places here. And then if value equals apply to this. If value equals, in fact, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to fix this bug here. Then I'm going to get rid of that unnecessary debug statement. Fixed bug where G key should have been G code. Great. Yeah, let's go ahead and find every instance of this. There's only 5 of them. If value equals apply to this. I think that's what it is. Yeah, apply to this. And we'll find the other one here. Apply to this. Apply to this, apply to this, apply to this. Fantastic. We're going to save all of that and come in here and do a reload. And then, once again, we're going to change the back color. We're just going to default it. In fact, we'll default all of them. Why not? Well, why not? Now I need to change it back. Okay, so apply TitanBar back color to this control. Works just fine. Cool. What's the other one? Reset back color of TitanBar, reset back color of all controls. What's the other apply to this that I found? This was for unload control. Well, that's funny. Yeah, okay, you can do that. Now I have to go figure out what that was. Nuts. What was that? Well, it wasn't ancient script. Unload. I have those saved off. So document plugin along. That is the everything currency not on radar. And we're just going to come and replace that because I foolishly did not pay attention to it. Alright, so plugin data. Get rid of it. Really? Just because I've got a file open? Yep. Alright, copy there. Great. And we're going to reload that TitanBar. Oh, it was commendations. No wonder I had no idea what it was. Okay, so you can unload a control manually. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. And if you do that, you have a key. Show head currency. Yeah, you can. By unloading it, you also implicitly say don't put it back on here the next time you load. Like that's part of the saving that you're about to do, and it's interesting. I wonder what that feature dates back to. Okay, I'm gonna delete a couple of buffers here that had things. Cool. So let's go ahead and just save that off. Fixed. No. Changed. Confusing command name from this to applied to this. That's in those two locations from these three senders. Cool. So we were looking for those places where we are looking for that global variable. And we are at about an hour and a half into the stream. So I think at this point, I'd say this will probably be the last thing I try to do tonight. We've got our last Dutch language class tomorrow before the summer break, and I would not want to show up unrested. So I'm going to work on this. Don't know if I'll actually be able to succeed with it. And either way, we'll be leading into the end in roughly half an hour, give or take. Depends how well I do at this. Okay, so local wallet controls, and then we iterate through each of them. So this is a wallet code specific section. And what we want to do is start using the key instead of the code for every reference of underscore capital G that is talking about a wallet control. Eventually, maybe that's the case for these as well. But that's outside of the scope here. And might not even make sense for those things. So, we already have a key here. So we're going to go ahead and use that. I do have to ask, is wallet controls being indexed by something? So that's item ID. Adjust icon would have to take. So what does adjust icon take? All right. Okay. So in these cases, we're going to need that list of these things. That's currency code to currency key. We're going to need that. In fact, can we pin that? Yeah. Okay. So any place that we're still referring to WI. Sure. Adjust icon. Let's go ahead and start updating that to be wallet. Oh, got a little lightning. That's cool. Okay, adjust icon in there. We're going to do wallet. And we can see that these are unqualified references to that global value, which is a concern. Okay, we have that local code. Yeah. So we're going to be using key instead of code. Great. You know what? Let's be adventuresome and kill off that as well. Does WI exist in that capitalization sense? It actually does. That's funny. I had underscore G dot underscore G. I think that technically works. I think the namespaces are embedded in such a way that would not be wrong. It would be silly. We're actually just going to replace that with the key since we have that definitionally here. In fact, position left of key and position top of key makes a lot of sense there as well. Okay, where else? Opt underscore WI. What on earth is this? Does that matter? You know, I think let's go ahead and do it. Opt WI, opt WI, opt WI. We're not doing it. Opt wallet. Awesome. Tooltip slots. I don't think that's us. No. Okay. Nope. Also probably not. Okay, wallet. There's going to be things in wallet that start with that. Some prefixes that are still there, but I think it's really just form here, form here. Yeah, some of these could be updated, but I think it's close enough for right now. So, yeah, we're going to change that to show wallet tooltip. All right, what else can we kill? Wallet tooltip. Again, we've got a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to ignore it for right now, actually. Maybe I've gone too far down the WI rabbit hole, actually. But coming back into in here, let's make this window a little bit wider. Where is my settings window? Oh, there it is. I pinned it. Okay, MI. We want to find. Actually, let's go. Let's double check all the ones that are not. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. If we come on into the control factory, we have the code. What if we just stop using the code here? So G code, G key, G key, G key, G key, and the code in here is being used for show tooltip window. You know what? We're just going to pass key to there as well. From control, that's going to equal to key. Okay. And the real question is, why are we passing both the key, the table and the key entry into the table instead of just grabbing this? And I don't have a good answer yet, but that could be simplified down. Yeah. What if these things didn't exist? What would complain about them? Should probably save them off so I can use them as a reference. Alright, so we have the code to key. Where are those being used and why? As from. Okay, we are going to know that that is a key. So if okay, currency key, same thing basically. If this is a thing and s from, we don't need that anymore. Okay, code key in that, and instead we want to go iterating through this. So this is index key in currencies. The key for each currency. Cool. I wonder if there's a way to do a comment block here. That did not work. Alright, we'll have to play around with that later. Okay, so we're using that key in the global. That's fine. Awesome. Where else were we using that lookup? To show. All right, show tooltip window. Where are we using that? Some places in code and some places in key. All right, let's come on in here. What is code? We're going to use key. And here, we're going to use key. Okay. Great. So in here, to show, we know that's going to be the key that we're going to use. And so what we're really curious about is, where's key being used? Okay. If currencies of key exists, then, but that's really to show. Okay. What are we still looking for? Code to key. All right, same thing here. What can we do? Adjust icon. We're taking in something that's called string, which is just amazing. We do have that quote MI here. I feel like we should go ahead and tidy that up while we're in here. Now we know that was money. Money. And money. Great. Okay, so any place that we have MI bracket, I want to replace with global of money of bracket. Can we do that? And we're in function, so that this is all over. Okay, and we can see if the key is money, then we're looking at the where of money. Obviously, we could be using key here more than we are. That's okay. All right, and this is in the money. If we just say local table equals g.mi, we could probably fix that. That is a lot of references to this thing. Yeesh. Feels like maybe there's some simplification we could be doing. Phew. Okay. Where else? In money. That's fine. Except I want that to be money. And we could do that with this or as a quoted string. And I'm actually kind of curious what we did in the factory. Bracket, okay, because it was a variable. Sure. Local key equals money. And we're going to go ahead and global that key. And then table equals that of key. There we go. So we no longer have any MIs like that. Awesome. Except my to-do item complaining about the inconsistency of it. Great. That's promising. Let's go back into here, currency code. And yes, so we have wallet, we have money. If that key, what we're really looking for is how are we using this key? Yeah, we're really just looking to see, is it a currency? So if currencies of string, then once again, yeah, adjust icon. Why is the parameter named str? That's bad. I don't like it. That's a problem for later though. Okay, currency code to key value here. Okay, so import control, we're getting a value. And then if it is a currency, then we're doing stuff. But we can just say if currencies of value, then yeah, we can go ahead and do some replacing. Key, 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 key. There we go. And we can say it's not used anymore. Awesome. There's 3 more uses of this in a different function. We have that from. And really, we're just looking for yeah, if it's a currency. Okay, 2 more. We do the same thing, if. But here we have a shortcut. If it's in this table, and in this case we know that is this, then we can go ahead and use that, in which case we no longer need key. Done. 1 more. Okay, same thing. Now I'm a little actually worried in the case where we need to be initializing this. Let me make a quick side trip after this to make sure that looks okay. All right, where is this being initialized? Probably in settings. Awesome. Now we have a key, initialize global control settings that equals something. Okay, where is it getting called from? Everything in currencies. Okay, so we're good there. There will be a thing for us to check against. Perfect. All right, that was the last instance of currency code to key. However, we do need the inverse of that, currency key to code. If we have any uses of that, that's going to be a problem. So let's come on in here. Importing the control, I think we're fine to be using the key. Do I know that? I don't know that. Okay, this value, currencies, yeah, value equals, yep. Yeah, I think we're going to find that good. Okay, in this case, we have a key. We're trying to get a code. Why are we trying to get a code? Let's get rid of it. Key there, and just icon, we can send that a key as well. Cool. Next one. We are getting a code, and then we are using that as a lookup. But we've changed that to be using key. So now code, not necessary. Great. Next up, we are getting a code. We're going to import control with key. We're going to look it up in the global with that. Where else? Code. Oh, that's interesting. From and window. going to save that off for a moment because we're going to want to look at that. However, let's just assume it's fine. Key and key. And then same thing here. That is being constructed in a way that I want to go take a look at. Okay. So we're no longer using code, hopefully. Okay. So table equals, nope, don't call that, just use the key. Next, code, we're using that for the global lookup. Stop doing that, and no longer needed. Okay. Whew, okay. That was everything that we were conflating keys and codes with. At this point, there's no more of a lookup for those old values. And those were the only places things like DP or MC for Mithril Coin. Some examples. Key code. Well, currencies, this is actually now index equals, what is MC? Mithril Coin. Mithril Coin, you're in here somewhere. 6. Cool. Everything else is in to do. Great. Yeah, Emerald silver pieces. Just in the generic. Now, in the generic currency sample, we want to kill this code value also. Cool. Bam. Okay. Now, I'm presuming that this is going to blow up and not work. Not because I think we've done something wrong, just I think there's probably something we missed. So, let's go ahead and reload. Yeah, that is not great. Attempt to index local control table a nil value. Yeah. Okay. Okay, part of this is the save file that we were using. Almost certainly has settings in it that we were looking for. Maybe not. Okay, these are all the new stuff. Lots of wheres, that's fine. But we had those 3 things that we were looking for. We should bring them back in here. So FRM plus something. And that is not a complete word. But it is a quote. Okay, so show hide currency from window key. That's something we're worried about as well. FRM main, FRM options. I don't actually know what this is for. From. Okay, it's just a from. Okay, window. Yeah, quote W. We're not looking for win or wait, so we can just kind of scroll past a bunch of those. Are we looking just for concatenation? That only exists here. But the window close, that's a global. That's interesting. Do we have something like that? Okay. Yes. Okay. So these places that I thought maybe we could get away with, we're going to go ahead and fix that. And in fact, we should double check that that's not being used everywhere. No. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So that's the wallet window. But we also have the money window. Yep. There it is. W money. We're just going to go ahead and I'm not doing a replace all because I do want to see it go past because I'm just looking for things that don't look quite right during this. And LOTRO points window. Let's see. It's just so easy to replace the wrong things when you're moving in a hurry. So, okay, window, window, window. I think that's all the windows we were looking at. So, okay, so this thing that we were looking at right here, getting that window, I think we can reasonably do that. And if has window, we know that's LOTRO points money. Well, okay, all that's fine. The from FRM, that might also be in those same window files. Let's go take a look at that. Yep. Okay, so FRM, FRMLP, we can see that should also be LOTRO points. So we're going to find that. It's mostly here. All right. Yeah, that. Yeah, okay, that's also a problem. We're going to come... Nope, we're going to do this right now. So we want to find that. Oh, it's only here. Nice. But it's probably in other places as well. Okay, so that was the LOTRO points window. Let's go into the money window and search for FRM. Yep, we can see that here. So we're going to find all the instances of that. That's going to be money, that's going to be money, that's going to be window money, and that's going to be money. Awesome. Cool. And then the final window here, LOTRO points window. We do actually see FRM here. Looks pretty good. No, I don't actually want to search everything. That was a mistake. Okay, so FRM. So FRMLP. No, okay, LOTRO. Yeah, so that's good. But let's go ahead and double check here. Window LOTRO points. Okay, was that the first one it did? So save all. No, we have each of these LOTRO points window, money window, wallet window. There we go. Okay, FRM. Yep. So we want to find all those FRM WIs. It's only here. Funny. And let's find every WWI. Yep. Cool. Okay, so we've definitely fixed up a few of those. However, I'm assuming that wasn't everything we needed to do. So we have an error message. We had one more thing, though, that we're going to do, which was opt. This thing right here. What's going on with that? If the key is the wallet, then the menu item equals plugins, TitanBar, opt key. Why would you do that? What's going on in functions menu? That's gibberish. Not gibberish, that's unnecessary. Because that code would always be the same. What is an opt WI and why is it causing me problems? Opt WI. Okay, opt wallet. We actually do have opt wallet here. Oh, I see. We have opt in several things. Okay, we have opt wallet. So why were we concatenating this? So check show key, if the key is wallet. Sure. I mean, what's going on? This is in TitanBar menu. How do these things go anywhere else? Opt BI, show me more. To our TitanBar menu items add. Okay. That's cool. Functions menu. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Still. Okay, so that was the weird one. We've gone ahead and simplified it. I think we're still not fixed. I think there's something that's looking up stuff here. So, functions menu 12. Let's go ahead and come on in. Looking control equals control table of control. And that's a lookup of G key, and that's importing control. So, turbine.shell.writeLine. And what's going on, and show hide currency, because that is a problem. We're going to go ahead and use dump in case that's a nil value. Probably is. Okay, show hide currency wallet. Great. We are first doing an import control of a key. If the value is wallet, we import the wallet controller, wallet controls, and then wallet. That's fine. Wallet tooltip, that's fine. We call update wallet, and then we update the position there. Really don't feel like that should be here. Really feel like that should be somewhere else, but that's okay. And we just icon wallet in here. If the string is wallet, then we do stuff. That's all fine. Looks great. So in functions menu, attempt to index control table. We go into global key. All right, so why didn't that work? Let's go back into wallet. Up at the top here, we have key and of wallet, and table equals global of key. (13) attempt to index the local a nil value. Okay, that's interesting, because we are using the global namespace. And we're passing a key. So the import control must be going wrong. So if we do a turbine.shell.writeLine, wallet.lua loading, ... in fact, we're going to bring that up first thing. Yeah. Okay, let's find the uses of import control here. Turbine.shell.writeLine. Feel like there's a breakdown here. Okay, we definitely tried to import all those controls. And I think going to go ahead and install Here Be Dragons just to see what's up. Great. Refresh, Here Be Dragons. Okay. So we have LOTRO Plugins. Oh, I will need to fix its apartment. So we're going to come into Plugins, Habitat Plugins, and get the apartment of this, which is TitanBar. Makes sense. And make sure Quendel has the same, or this one has the same configuration apartment, so that they share the same memory space. All right, TitanBar, Here Be Dragons. Yeah, well, not surprisingly, we're not seeing those things that were supposed to be imported. We have the wares. All wares is great. Most of enchantment is hidden and money is... That's interesting. That's fine. No, that's just a recursive version of G. Yeah, we're not seeing imported into global all of those things that we thought should be. And by breaking that prerequisite, when we try to disable the show hide currency here, it's not working, I think. So what's going on with import control? If currencies value. All right, we are... Of course, that check does not work. That was a foolish thing of me to even try. Because, of course, we're indexing with value, but that's indexed by integers. That can't work. And it was foolish for me to even try. So, if we want to know is currency, there might actually be a function, is currency. All right, let's find these places where this is used. Find all references. But of course, that would be exactly the problem. IPairs, IPairs, IPairs. If currencies to show, yeah, that's not going to work. Also, if currency string, they're not going to work. Okay, that's a named key. Don't want that. Here's currency. Just trying to look and see if there's something that I can already use that's already in place for this. No. Not seeing that. So IPairs currencies is great. It's perfect, probably. We can see key value, index key. That's fine. Yeah, index key. Currencies, index key, great. Index key, perfect. That's bad. Index key, that's a problem. That's a problem. Index key, great. That's a problem. Index key, perfect. Currencies equal, that's where we first initialize it. Key value, that should be index key, and pass in key. Index key, great. Key value, again, that should be index key, pass key. And this is just for consistency's sake. Index key, nope. Index key, and key. We're not changing functionality here, but we are trying to make it a little bit more sensible. Index key, great. And that's because these are all those index keys. So currency is here, and then function. Now we need is currency. And then we can do the same thing for key value in I pairs of currencies and do. And we can just say is currency of value equals true. And then any of those places that is not a pairs or an I pairs, it doesn't really matter. But I think I will go ahead and do consistently pairs. We'll do is currency of to show. I pairs else is currency str is currency of value. I pairs is currency. I pairs currencies. I pairs. Okay, all that's great. Let's go ahead and do a save all, just in case. Oops. And reload. Hey, it's all there. Fantastic. Okay, can we interact with these things? We can move them around. I can right click. Let's bring up this window. I saw modes of enchantment. It was don't show. Weird. Where is that? What's a mode of enchantment look like? Mode of enchantment is that green thing. Oh, that's weird. Okay, what if it is in the tooltip? It's gone. Great. 5. Awesome. And let's go ahead and just reload. Cool. Mode of enchantment. Back on the toolbar. Okay, so what we want to do is go through and pull out some of those import statements that crept in there. That'll be easier, I think, in our source control. Holy moly, everything's changed. Maybe it will not be easier in our source control. Okay, so we know import control had one. Let's kill that. That'll be a big one. Okay, there's also the show hide currency. We'll go ahead and grab that while we're in here. That was functions menu, I think. Yep, show hide currency. Great. We're going to kill that as well. Okay, so here we have stuff and things. We can see LOTRO points is not great, and I'm going to guess that is because we have a save file problem in our plugin data. As I think Tillerian mentioned what feels like several hours ago, in our LOTRO point setting, there's something scored on, as PTS. What do we want to bet that that's going to cause us problems? Well, maybe. Okay. Maybe not. Must have been something else we did. We did play around with LOTRO points window. No, it's going to be LOTRO points, because if we click on the LOTRO points window, we get this here. If we save, it doesn't do it. Okay, but there's definitely a thing going on there. Oh, well, code still exists. That can't be good. So we're going to do key. We're going to do key. Where else is code used? Key, code, kill it. Kill it with all the fire. Okay, let's go ahead and clear up some of these windows here. Cool. Coming on back here, let's check for that same thing in other places. So that's going to be money. No code here. Wallet. No code there. So that's very promising. Let's go ahead and reload this. Hey, there was an error. I love crashing errors because they give you a line number to think about. Okay, that was functions control 37. I hope that means control. But if they wanted me to pronounce it correctly, they wouldn't. Find out references. Look at these, the references. All right. Okay, so global of LOTRO points. LOTRO points, LOTRO points. Great. Where was that? References. There it is. Okay. So that's fixed. That's fixed. That's fixed. And that needs to be fixed. What are the chances that something like that exists somewhere else? Let's go look at wallet. Let's look at money. We didn't search for LP in by itself, but here it is. Look at that. And WI by itself, no, and MI by itself, cool. Yeah, okay, so it crashed on loads. Let's go ahead and reload TitanBar. Much better. And we can see our LOTRO points are there. Awesome. And we can move it around. If we open it up, change it to 1, 2, 4, save, perfect. Do I think this is 100% correct? Let's check everything that's not currencies. Now we have a save file called everything currency on bar. We also have one called everything not currency. And this is a good one to double check against. Because we could very easily break something that's not a currency and not care about it because we're only looking at currencies. So what we want to do is just do some basic stuff. Can we look at the backpack infos? Can we look at the character thing? Add another character. Can we look at anything else? Real server time. Awesome. Everything seems basically functional. I can click on them. I can move them around. That's promising. So we're going to unload that. Bring back my everything currency on the bar and put that in instead. And bring back TitanBar. Awesome. So can we move things on and off? Coming on in here, we're going to set that on the TitanBar. We're actually going to move that on over. And then don't show. Oh, actually in tooltip. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to actually save that off right now before I think about it. So we're going to copy that here, replace everything. Perfect. Okay. Now we can go ahead and bring TitanBar back. And now if I put money on the TitanBar, it's at least not completely obscured by other things. Okay, and my money window, oh, and we can see same thing. If I hover over certain parts of the money window, that's not great. So we're going to come into to do and make a note for later. To do. The money tooltip and maybe LP and WI wallet, LOTRO points, and wallet needs some attention. Not show doesn't seem attached to the whole parent control. Okay, now can I drag here? I can drag on the icon. Can I drag in the background? I cannot. Okay, so definitely we're seeing some of the same things, and that makes me worried that there's like 7 different duplications of the mouse code for the different labels and the different icons. And if that's the case, we'll be able to really collapse that down. Whew, okay, what do we have? Why is Modes of Enchantment off again? Because that's how it is in that save file. I'm going to unload this, save it off again. Great. bring it back. So, what have we learned today? I don't know. Sometimes our past choices haunt us. Or the choices of other people. No, what we've learned is that we were able to do a consolidation of the old code style of things, WI for wallet, MI for mithril, LP for LOTRO points, and the new style, spelling it out, wallet, mithril coins, LOTRO points. We were able to consolidate that and get rid of the dichotomy between them. So now we are in a good state to have a single thing for which we refer to these elements on the toolbar. That puts us in a really good state to replace our current friendly name versions with the underlying icon ID of the item. And if we do that, internally, if we do that, we are going to probably want to pay attention to that save file, because it is using the friendly name versions. Maybe even have a lookup table. I don't know. But we're going to want to pay attention to that. We are going to have the ability to spawn a thing based off of that item ID that isn't in the list of things, and it will be able to fit right in. So I think that's where we're going to go ahead and pick it up next time, is transferring. Yeah, I'm going to make a note. Next time, change key from friendly names, wallet, mithril coins, etc., to the image ID in preparation for arbitrary items. Once that's done, can we kill all references to predefined lists of codes? Question mark. Also, the save file needs to be updated from key to ID. The character save files need to be updated. Okay, so that's a thing for the future. But in the present, let's go ahead and look at our source code and see just what have we done over the last, we're going to call it like an hour. Yeah, about an hour. Okay, so in general, eliminated old codes, WI, ASP, etc., in favor of new keys. Wallet, what was ASP? Amroth silver piece, etc. That's what we think we've done. Have we done that? Okay, this is the generic one. In the generic one, actually, I'm curious, do we actually have the word code anywhere? I mean, it's a pretty common thing. You know what? Key and key. But at that point, what are we using that for? Maybe. Okay, where else do we have code? Code. Unfortunately, the word code is overloaded. This is a setting. Cool. Currency specific code. Blocks. Remove some code used for debugging. Great. Download and integrate with code. Awesome. Cool. Okay. The answer is we did find every use of code, and we can feel good that we're in a place where we're not using them anymore. Awesome. So, code, key. Great. Same ideas. And we can see LOTRO points, we're also catching those places like LP. Do we feel like we got them all? Not 100% sure, but I think we'll commit to this and then discover any remaining places. For instance, the wallet window I can move around, I can open and close. That's awesome. The other exceptions, LOTRO points, we can move that around, open and close, we already saw. Mithril coins has exceptions to it. I think that's really the big one, though. If I were to come into here, LOTRO points, and change that to 4, that's fine. LOTRO points, change that to in tooltip, that's fine. And then LOTRO point, I don't need to reset it because we're going to blow that away anyway. Okay, code stuff, code, abbreviations are getting fixed. All that's great. All right, LOTRO points, those window abbreviations are getting fixed. Great. All that looks plausible. Money, lots of changes here from that MI reference to the global table just to a thing called table. That actually puts it more in line with other factory generated ones. And maybe we can, oh my goodness, look at all this mouse handling. I was not wrong. Okay, that's a problem for later. The money, we're, again, addressing those right there. Wow, there's a wallet. Yeah, okay, wallet loading. I keep saying that and ignoring it, apparently. Let's go fix that. A wallet. Anything else look weird? I guess not. Okay. Codes and keys. WI changes to wallet. Awesome. Fantastic. Change the name of the function. Yep. Aw. Until it has some kind words. I know you're finishing up, and kind words. Coding really fascinates me. Keep it up. Well, I certainly will try. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a larger set of changes. Let's bring it up in an external diff. Okay, so we can see we were using the code to key of s from. Here we're just using s from. That's great. Key value went to index key. Awesome. And then s from as well. Yeah, that all looks great. That's true. I didn't try all the functions like background. So change. So if I came over here and changed background color of a thing, I can do that. If I apply it to all elements, I can do that. Awesome. If we save that, great. And if I come here and if I change the background color of this control, that's fine. Come in here and reset back control of this. I'm uncertain if it was just so close to what the default is. So we're going to go ahead and do something really obnoxious here. Okay, and then reset the back color of this control. There we go. Yeah, reset the back color of all controls in TitanBar. Interesting. The opacity isn't being controlled in quite the same way, and I think that's interesting. Back color of this control. Yeah, there was a mismatch, and one of those didn't apply the opacities across the board, but they are able to apply across the board. So we're going to call that a pretty positive test. Okay, we're going to go ahead and keep on working through here. Functions, what's going on? That's a lot of stuff. Okay. Keys. WI, MI, lots of MI. Okay, lots more. LP, getting rid of that code and changing those places that just use key. Just a random space snuck in there. I think I'll not include that in this. Okay. So we no longer have the key, and then there's a lot of stuff that's changed to wallet. That's fine. Am I? Yep. Okay, we'll call that good. Whew. Lots of different things here. Yep, looks good. Codes, keys, codes, keys. Really simplified this. I don't know why that was so weird. I think it might have been a me thing, but someone was trying to overcome a namespace issue. But my goodness. Okay. More code to key. We have an if currency lookup now. Okay. Menu. Opt WI becomes opt wallet, and that's fine. Keys for each currency, a nice little comment, I suppose, and then a lookup. Okay, removing those two. It's a big step. Index key changes, getting rid of that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so one last thing I want to do is go into to-do and find all those references. So mi, no, sure, mi, let's see what we have. Change parameter from things like MC to Mythical Coins. Done. MC, core abbreviation initial. Yeah, each currency has two main keys. That's from consumption. Nope, not anymore. These are gone. Function to take them. Nope, that's gone. And that's gone. Change values of S from things like, yep. That's an interesting question. Background.lua gets easier. Did we do that? S from. I mean, I believe past me, but, okay. So, all of that, and then MC. Okay, I feel like those are good. Yes, LOTRO ops is different than LOTRO points. Okay, LP, let's see if we reference that anymore. MC, Mythical Coin now. WI, abbreviation, code. Okay, that was what we were doing today. And we have that as the image ID. Yep, okay. So, key, code, nope, WI, capital letters, please, nope, LP, nope, Mythical Coin, nope, okay. I think we've found all of the various things telling us to do the thing that we just did, and we're going to go ahead and commit that as well. Bam! And push it out in case I get struck by lightning at somewhere else. Awesome. Wow! Okay, so what we have here are two branches. One branch in which we've gone ahead and done the cleanup between code and key, unifying them as key, presumably everything working just fine. Possibly having simplified the code a fair amount. And there's more simplification that can be done later. In the other branch, we have the new window design, and we can actually see this if we unload here. If we head on over there, head on over here, and go ahead and load TitanBar. Instead of what we had there, we have this new window, which has all of the currencies in my wallet, showing which ones are account-wide and which ones aren't, but which has no ability to add or remove items from the bar. And that's because of the lack of a lookup between things that are in this window and that corresponding key, which everything on the bar is currently tuned to. So when we can transform that key into an image ID, we then will have the link between the new window, which has image IDs for everything, and the old code, which is currently using a string Amaroth silver piece, which the new window doesn't have. So by changing over to an image ID, the two will be able to talk to each other, and that's where we're going to go next week. However, I am not going to leave that there because I want to be able to add and remove things to my bar, even if it's from a limited list. So I'm going to switch on over here. And I've got the missing currencies. I'm not going to bother with that right now because it doesn't apply on... oh, that's funny. Actually, I will go ahead and apply that. Switch over to the wallet window tree view and stash it. Stash missing currencies for forward compat testing. Yeah, that's where it actually belongs, is over on that branch. So on the better currencies branch, we're here. We still have the old window. So we're making really good progress, I think, towards the goal of having a wallet window which is flexible enough that no one needs to add anything in code to make use of new things, new currencies, and is maybe a little bit nicer to look at and has everything that's in your wallet, and maybe lets us add filtering options for even more stuff. So that's where we are going to leave it. I don't see any last minute thoughts in chat to talk about. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, I think there's one more streamer today, Meilung, if he is not on vacation, at, I want to say 9 o'clock Eastern time. Whatever it is, it's well after midnight when they start. So be sure to check that out if you're awake at that time. And that is everything we are going to cover today. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of LOTRO plugins. I hope to see you here next week. And until then, keep plugging along. All right, bye-bye now.